I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up trans rights. Ohio man sentenced to 25 to 29 years in prison for the murder of trans advocate Laura Schueler. An Ohio man has been sentenced to 25 to 29 years in prison for the killing of beloved LGBTQ trans advocate Laura Schueler. 19-year-old Ajani Grimes accepted a plea deal for involuntary manslaughter nearly a year after Schueler's body was found near her home in Cincinnati's Evanston neighborhood on June 6, 2025. Prosecutors said Grimes invited Schueler into his car before she attempted to flee. He then allegedly shot her in the back of the head and left her at the scene. At the time of the killing, Grimes was reportedly out on bond in connection with a previous armed robbery case. During sentencing, family and friends described the lasting impact of Schueler's death. Her husband said the sentence was not enough, while her best friend, Martez Meadows, told the court, quote, "Whatever you do behind closed doors is going to come to light. The last thing I want to say is I hope that you rot in hell," end quote. Loved ones remembered Schueler as a compassionate advocate for the queer community. Well, it's sad, and we certainly send our love out to her husband and family and friends. But certainly justice was not properly served. I would love to know if there were any extenuating circumstances. It doesn't sound like it. No matter what reason she got in the car, no one has the right to take someone's life away.
No.
He should be sentenced for life.
Not just, yes, life, but also involuntary manslaughter. What kind of chicane, what kind of, BS is that?
I agree.
25 years to 29 years is a very long time for involuntary manslaughter, but I'm guessing that is compounded by his previous weapons charges and other things. And he's young, so 25 to 29 years isn't really a very long time. He'll come out middle-aged.
Well, and I'd like to think, and I thought that there was a trend going on where if you have multiple infractions and you're a repeat offender, eventually, you go away for life.
Well, that's three strikes law, but I can discuss the fundamental flaws of the three strikes law too, because, for example, in California, when they try to implement it, people who are convicted of shoplifting will be counted as the third strike because they're poor.
Well,
but when we're talking about justice, we're talking about people who straight up cold-blooded murder someone. It doesn't matter if they're a trans person or not, but is animus against trans people? We recently just had another case out in I believe in Idaho again, and this time, a gay couple was beat up in Idaho, but because Idaho do not recognize sexual orientation as a protected class, there were no hate crime charges. This, once again, we are talking about LGBTQ folks, especially trans folks, basically classified as second-class victims.
No, you said exactly what wanted to say is that they minimize the value of a life because this person was trans. They're lesser than, they're stigmatized.
And that has happened throughout history in the LGBTQ struggle for equal rights. Before the Matthew Shepard Hate Crime Act was enacted, a lot of times in a lot of states, just being gay can be seen by the jury as justification for murder. You got a defense attorney saying that, "I'm scared the guy is going to hit on me." Hitting on the wrong person is not an excuse to murder that person.
No, because if someone was heterosexual and got hit on, certainly, and it was a heterosexual interaction, that would be not plausible at all. So.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.